Bonjour tout le monde. Let's explore the various ways one may express their feelings and emotions en français. Let's discover new vocabulary words, as well as questions and ways to answer questions that address feelings and emotions. Alors, écoutez et répétez. There are so many ways to express feelings and emotions en français, so let's focus on the most frequently used words and expressions. I've gathered about 18 of them. As I've mentioned to you before, en français, there is the notion of genders. Words have genders. Some words are considered male, some words are considered female. Therefore, the new words that we are going to learn today, which are named adjectives, also have genders. Now, not all of them. Some of them have a neutral form that will be used for male and female. But some of them have a specific gender form. So pay attention so that you don't make the mistake to use the male form if you are a female speaking. And so that if you are a male speaking, you do not mistakenly use the female form. Now, these adjectives, I believe I've shared and explained with you in class, these adjectives are words that describe how a thing or a person is, feels, or is doing. All right, let's begin. Heureux. It's the masculine form. Heureuse. It's the feminine form. Maintenant, écoutez et répétez. Heureux, heureuse. It means happy. Triste. It has a neutral form. It doesn't change whether it's masculine or feminine. Triste. It means sad. Amical. Amical only changes when you spell it, but the pronunciation remains the same. That is why I added the E in parentheses. Amical, friendly. Timide. Timide has a neutral form. Same for masculine or feminine subject. Timide, shy. Content for the masculine form. Contente for the feminine form. Make sure when you pronounce the feminine form that you insist on the sound of the T. T, T, contente. Content, contente. It means glad, happy in the sense of glad. Fâché. Fâché only changes in the written form. Only when you are writing, you would have to be precise if you are writing and you are a male or a female, or if you are writing about a male or a female. That is where you will add an E if the subject is female, but the pronunciation remains the same. Fâché. It means mad. Gentil. Same here. Gentil does not change pronunciation whether you are using it in the masculine form or the feminine form. The difference is only in writing. In writing, you will have to specify if you are a feminine subject or if you are talking about a feminine subject. But the pronunciation remains the same. Gentil. It means kind. Méchant. It's the masculine form. Méchante. It's the feminine form. Méchant, méchante. It means mean. Now I added you here a bonus one, a bonus expression that we have not learned in class yet, but I thought would be valuable to so many of us for the times that we feel bored. So how do we say I'm bored? Well, écoutez et répétez. Je m'ennuie. Je m'ennuie. Je m'ennuie. That means I'm bored. Whether you are a masculine subject or a feminine subject, je m'ennuie does not change. All right, let's look at the next set of adjectives. Excité. Excité does not change in its pronunciation whether the subject is masculine or feminine. But when we write as a masculine or feminine subject or about a masculine or feminine subject, then we must add an E, which is the one that I annotated here in parentheses, if the subject is feminine. Excité. It means excited. Fatigué. Same concept. The pronunciation does not change whether you are masculine or feminine subject, but in writing you will add an E at the end if you are a feminine subject. Fatigué. It means tired. Fier. Fier means proud. The pronunciation remains the same for the masculine and feminine word. We only add an E at the end of fier if it is written for a feminine subject. Fier, proud. Gêné. Same concept, does not change in pronunciation, only in writing. If the subject is feminine, we add an E at the end of gêné. Gêné. It means embarrassed. Surpris. Surprise. Surpris is the masculine form, and you notice that I do not pronounce the S at the end of surpris. Surpris, it's the masculine form. Surprise, that is when you add the E at the end of surpris to create the feminine form. Surprise, it's the feminine form. You just need to insist on the sound of S and make it sound a little bit like a Z. Surprise. Surpris, surprise means surprised. Mal à l'aise. Mal à l'aise is an expression that is neutral, used the same way whether the subject is masculine or feminine. Mal à l'aise. It means uncomfortable. Amoureux. It's the masculine form. Amoureuse. It's the feminine form. Amoureux, amoureuse means in love. Malade. Malade has a neutral form used for masculine and feminine subjects. Malade. It means sick. And I added here another bonus expression that we have not addressed in class, but that I thought would be useful for so many of us in our daily conversations. J'ai peur. What j'ai peur means? I am scared. I am frightened. I'm scared. J'ai peur. J'ai peur. That expression does not change whether the subject is male or female. All right, très bien les amis. If you need to go over this section of the lesson, just rewind a little bit, pay attention, écoutez et répétez. But if you're ready to move on, let's go. On y va. So now that you are familiar with the most frequently used adjectives to express feelings and emotions, let's address how to build a very simple yet proper sentence to express those feelings. And the formula is right in front of you. It is the very first one. Je plus suis plus the adjective itself. Now let's focus on that formula first, and let's use it with all the adjectives that we have listed on the right side, and that can be used with the formula je plus suis. Ok, c'est parti. Let's go. Écoutez et répétez. Je suis heureux. Je suis heureuse. Je suis triste. Je suis amical. Je suis timide. Je suis content. Je suis contente. Je suis fâché. Je suis gentil. Je suis méchante. Je suis méchant. Je suis excité. Je suis fatigué. Je suis fier. Je suis gêné. Je suis surpris. Je suis surprise. Je suis mal à l'aise. Je suis malade. Je suis amoureux. Je suis amoureuse. Now let's look at the second formula. Rather than using je plus suis plus the adjective, we are going to use je plus M apostrophe plus not specifically an adjective, but here is a noun. We're strictly going to use this form for the expression I am bored. En français, I am is je suis. But when we talk about being bored, en français, we do not say I am bored. We say I bore myself, which is why we have the M apostrophe for the self, the transitive form of a verb. So this is how it goes. If you look on the right side, it says under amoureux, it says ennui. Ennui is the noun that means boredom. Boredom. So we say I bore myself because ennui is also a form of the verb to bore someone. So we say je plus plus ennui. Together, it sounds like je m'ennuie. Je m'ennuie. That is, I am bored. And that form does not change whether it is a male or female subject speaking or being spoken about. The third formula here, we are only going to learn that one so far for the expression, I'm scared. If you look on the right side, just like with I am bored, it's a combination of je plus est plus, instead of an adjective, we're also going to put a noun here, and the noun is fear, peur, peur. So we say j'ai peur, j'ai peur. You notice that je lost its e, it got absorbed and replaced with an apostrophe. And if you recall, I shared this rule with you in the past, where when you have two vowels following each other, like the e and then the a of e, the first vowel will get absorbed by the second one and be replaced with an apostrophe. If you don't remember that rule, that's okay, because we will revisit it later in grammar lessons, but I'm just reminding that to you now so that you understand why je does not have its e. D'accord? So when we talk about being afraid, when we talk about peur, which means fear, we say j'ai peur. And if you remember, j'ai means I have. Like when we say j'ai 6 ans, j'ai 7 ans, j'ai 8 ans, j'ai 9 ans, j'ai 10 ans. What do we say there? We don't really say I am 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. We say I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of life. So j'ai is I have. Je suis is I am. D'accord? Okay, super. Let's move on if you're ready. All right, in a few moments, we are going to start a speaking exercise so that we can begin to use these adjectives and expressions in order for us to relay and express our feelings and emotions. But before we get into the exercise, let's do a quick review of our adjectives. This time, I did not include the English translation, because I want you to now rely on your memory. Pay attention to the body expressions on the picture and also to the tone of voice that I'm using to express those feelings and emotions. D'accord? Ok. Écoutez et répétez. Heureux. Heureuse. Triste. Amical. Timide. Content. Contente. Excité. Je m'ennuie. Gentil. Méchant. Méchante. Malade. Fâché. Fier. Gêné. Surpris. Surprise. Oh, fatigué. Ah, amoureux. Ah, amoureuse. J'ai peur. Mal à l'aise. Très bien. Bon travail. I like it when you make the effort to repeat after me using the tone I'm using and adding gestures to that tone if you can. It will help you remember the meaning of words. So let's make some sentences and address those feelings in various ways. Let's go! C'est parti! On y va! As addressed in class, here are 4 measures that you can use to express your feelings and emotions. Un peu, plutôt, très, trop. Ok, répétez encore une fois. Un peu, plutôt, très, trop. Bravo, très bien. So what I would like you to do, just as we did in class, is to create 4 sentences using the example above. If you are a girl, you will start your sentence with Je suis une fille. Je suis une fille. If you are a boy, you will start your sentences with Je suis un garçon. Je suis un garçon. To that, you will add un peu, which means a little, and then an adjective of your choice. Then you will make a second sentence. Je suis une fille, or Je suis un garçon. Plutôt, which means pretty or quite, and you will add an adjective of your choice. Then you will move on to the third sentence that will also start with Je suis une fille, or Je suis un garçon, très, which means very, and you will add the adjective of your choice. And finally, you will move on to concluding this exercise with a 4 sentence, still starting with Je suis une fille, or Je suis un garçon, trop, which means too, as in too much. And then you will add the adjective of your choice. All right, let me give you an example with myself. Je suis une fille un peu timide, plutôt excitée, très amicale et trop heureuse. Now, let's make 4 sentences. Je suis une fille un peu timide. Je suis une fille plutôt excitée. Je suis une fille très amicale. Je suis une fille trop heureuse. All right, à ton tour. Your turn. But don't forget, if you are a girl, you will use une fille. If you are a boy, you will use un garçon. If you are a girl, and only you girls, you will use the feminine form of the adjectives here listed. So the only ones that change pronunciation are heureux, which becomes heureuse for you girls, content, which becomes contente for you girls, méchant, which becomes méchante for you girls, and amoureux, which becomes amoureuse for you girls. Et vous, les garçons, and you boys, les garçons, make sure you do not use the feminine form of those adjectives. Stick to the masculine ones. All right. Good luck. Do your thing. All right. Très, très bon travail, mes élèves. We're almost done. This is the last part of this lesson on expressing feelings and emotions. I hope that you did complete the previous exercise entirely and that you did not just go forward in the video. If you did not complete the previous exercise completely with 4 sentences using the measures of un peu, plutôt, très, et trop, then I need you to pause, rewind, and go back to that section, listen to my instructions, and complete the exercise because it's going to help you with this last portion. This last portion is what we did in class, and it's a small dialogue between 2 people meeting one another and sharing about who they are, describing themselves, sharing their feelings. So, who are these 2 people? Let's listen to their conversation. Bonjour. Salut. Je m'appelle Nicolas. Et toi? Comment tu t'appelles? Je m'appelle Marie. Enchantée, Marie. Enchantée, Nicolas. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Tu es timide? Oh oui, très. Ah bon? Oui, je suis une fille un peu gênée, plutôt heureuse, très excitée et trop timide. Ah, d'accord. Et toi? Eh bien, moi, je suis un garçon un peu excité, plutôt amical, très heureux et trop fier. Oh, my friends. So, were you all able to understand the conversation that happened between Nicolas and Marie? Well, why don't you pause me and listen to it again? Tell me what you think. Tell me what you understood. And once you've done that, I'd like you to work on that dialogue yourself. If you have a sibling that's in a class with you, you both can role play as we did in class. Pick your colors and then switch colors. If you don't have a sibling, try to have a parent run this with you, or just play my recording at the same time, or in your mind, read silently the other person's part, and then say out loud your part. Once you've done it with one color, switch back to the other color. Don't forget, over here, we do not repeat 4 times je suis un garçon un peu, je suis un garçon plutôt, je suis un garçon très, je suis un garçon trop. We don't. In this dialogue, we just make one sentence with all 4 measures. We say je suis une fille un peu ... plutôt ... très ... et trop ... And if you're a boy, then it will be Je suis un garçon. Remember, last thing, when one person asks the other, Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Tu es timide? You have the choice to answer, Oh non, pas du tout, or Oui, très. And I'm sure you know what that means. So let me run this dialogue for you one time. Nicolas says, Bonjour. Marie answers, Salut. Nicolas says, Je m'appelle Nicolas. Et toi, comment tu t'appelles? Marie answers, Je m'appelle Marie. Nicolas says, Enchanté, Marie. Marie answers, Enchanté, Nicolas. Then Nicolas asks her, Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Tu es timide? Do you remember what I've said to you in class about Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? What does that mean? It means, what's up? What's going on? What is it? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Tu es timide? Marie can answer two things. She can either say, Oh non, pas du tout. Or she can say, Oui, très. Then Nicolas answers, Ah bon? What is ah bon? Remember what I said in class? Ah bon means really? Is it? Now is it? Then Marie adds to that, Oui, je suis une fille, un peu, and she picks an adjective. Plutôt, she adds another adjective. Très adds a third adjective. Et trop, and adds a fourth adjective. So then Nicolas reacts to that and says, Ah, d'accord. And Marie returned those questions to him. And she asks him, Et toi? Now Nicolas takes his turn to describe himself and says, Eh bien, moi? Eh bien, what is eh bien? Eh bien is, well. Eh bien, moi, je suis un garçon, un peu, and he adds an adjective. Plutôt, and he adds an adjective. Très, he adds an adjective. Et trop, and he adds a last adjective. That is what their conversation was about and like. Your turn. Practice, practice, practice. D'accord? Super! Et voilà, c'est fini. Bravo mes élèves. Bon travail. Good job listening and repeating. I am very proud of you. Je suis très fière de vous. Bravo. Now please take the time to study these new vocabulary words and practice the pronunciation with the help of the body expressions we used in class. I very much encourage you to practice this unit for about 3 days in a row by making simple sentences as we did in class. And until you have mastered the pronunciation, listen to this recording or parts of this recording that will help you the most as much as you need. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes. Only practice can make you perfect. I know you can do it. Bravo mes élèves, très bon travail. Je suis très fière de vous. Au revoir tout le monde. À bientôt.